Steven Portillo with SSurge Media here. We're going to cover all the Premier League games that happened this weekend. Now, 6 points off Liverpool that are in first place. This statement victory keeps City down in fourth and remains the Gunners of just how dangerous they can be. Arsenal 5, Manchester City 1. What a day for Arsenal. Just a 5-1 win against your title contender rivals. 5-1 especially is just. You wouldn't believe in the Pep era of Manchester City, in this era of Manchester City. You could say that no one expected. I honestly thought City would win. For me, City this season, I was supporting Liverpool. I always was more afraid of Manchester City than Arsenal. Even their recent performance, I feel like out of City, between that of Arsenal and Manchester City, I feel like City would eventually catch up. Get back in form because. Last season you can see they were one of the best teams in the world, but I think it's just for Pep Guardiola, he just lost fuel in the tank. Pep Guardiola, for me, doesn't know what to do in a situation like this. For me, I've always been a person that would prefer Jurgen Klopp over Pep Guardiola. For me, Pep Guardiola has always been handed to him these amazing teams. Barcelona, he came from the academy. Boom, you had Messi. You had Iniesta, you had Xavi. You go to Bayern, you have Ribery, you have Robin, you have Lewandowski. Boom, you go to City, you have all this money you can spend, and you still have these top players as well. And you have Aguero, and you sign and you spend $1 billion. You spend $1 billion on players, and that has to eventually get you a treble, and that's what he did. I'd prefer Liverpool's 1 title than City's 3. City's 4 in the past couple of years. For me, it's just Pep Guardiola doesn't know what to do in this situation. It's been so long because he's been in City for 8 years now. He's been in Manchester City for a while now, and it's just that he's finally ran out of fuel in the tank. The way other teams are just catching up to a point. Is they're just catching up in general, and Pep Guardiola is just still relying on the same situation, same team, same play, whatever that he has been doing for years. Which provided him with all these signings he has always been making. And sure, you don't have your Ballon d'Or winning Rodri, but you still have Phil Foden, you still have Erling Haaland, you still have these amazing players, and you just perform the way you are. It's just that it's just unacceptable. I don't know. It's just, for me, Manchester United, barely making out of the Champions League, especially, for me, Club Brugge played honestly better. But, yeah, here in Arsenal, for me, I've always liked Arsenal. For me, one of their main issues for Arsenal is that they have too many players in defense and they can't use them all. In their defense alone, they have Saliba, Gabriel, they have Tomiyasu, they have Ben White, Timber, list goes on and on, Calafiori. And another thing is that I feel like they need a proper number 9. Havertz scores when it doesn't matter, and that wide open shot that he missed, and then I think second half of the game, was pivotal because you never know the outcome of the game, or at the time you don't know. So I feel like Arsenal still need to find that proper number 9. Alexander Isak, for me, he's the best striker in the world right now. Being heavily linked to these top teams in Europe, I think he would suit amazingly for Arsenal. And there's also Victor Gyökeres, who I think would also excel in Arsenal. It's been an issue forever, and I'm not sure why Arsenal has never really solved that issue. It's been 2 years now, and you don't have a proper number 9, using Havertz as a false 9 or Trossard. And for me, they're just super. I think Trossard is really good, but he's more of a super sub than a starter, and he plays a false 9. So I think Arsenal, they played amazing. These youngsters, like Lewis Skelly and Nawarni, and Saka now is playing. It just shows how City, just how underperforming they are recently. So Manchester City, how to explain this? People say Haaland needs to do more, But you can't really blame on Haaland. People are saying Haaland doesn't perform in big games, but he does his job. Haaland, he joined to score goals. He's not a playmaker. He's no Messi. He's no Mbappe, but he's a proper number 9, and you just gotta find a way to get the ball to him. And there's certain scenarios where Haaland, doesn't do his job well, but Pep has to, Haaland's gonna be there for 9 years. He signed a 9-year deal recently, so you just gotta find a way to get back in form. For me, Pep doesn't really know what to do in the circumstances. I've never been really a person that blames the coach heavily, but for me, I think Pep got handed a lot, so he needs to figure out how to deal with a bad team. Sir Alex built United, Liverpool built Liverpool, or Jurgen Klopp built Liverpool. So Pep needs to build City. So we'll see how Manchester City does later on. But this was Arsenal 5, Manchester City 1.